So those pardons from the former president now null and void?
Well, I think so. It's not my decision. That'll be up to a court. But I would say that they're null and void because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea that it was taking place. And somebody was using an Autopen to sign off and to give pardons to, as an example, just one example, but the J6 Unselect Committee. They gave, think of it, they gave pardons with an Autopen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it. And what they did is they deleted and destroyed all of the information that took them over a year to get. And the reason they did that is because the information was very incriminating about them. Like Nancy Pelosi, it was determined conclusively that she knew about 10,000 soldiers and turned it down. And if we used 500 soldiers, you would have had no problem, let alone 10,000. The young lady that said that I grabbed these powerful young Secret Service agents by the neck, okay? You know that was a big hoax, it was a lie. And she admitted it, and they deleted everything. So, you know, what they did is criminal. I think we're about to land, everybody. Okay? Have a good time. We'll see you very soon.
Donald Trump is at it again. This time claiming that President Biden's pardons are void because they were signed using an Autopen. But is there any truth to this? And what are the real legal and historical implications of this claim? Today, we break down this controversy and separate fact from fiction, analyzing how past presidents handled pardons, what the law actually says, and the deeper political strategy behind Trump's attack.
You have criticized President Biden for using Autopen in the last few days. Have you yourself ever used Autopen, sir?
Yeah, only for very unimportant papers. And I don't call them unimportant. If you do letters where people write in and, you know, they'd love to have a response, and we'll write responses, and I'll sign them whenever I can, but when I can't, I, would use an Autopen. But to use them for what they've used them for is terrible.
Yes, sir. And when you signed the CR,
Who are you with?
Sir, I'm on NBC News.
That's the same one. I don't want to talk to NBC anymore. I think you're so discredited.
Mr. President, when most people...
On Truth Social, Trump declared that Joe Biden's pardons are of no further force or effect because they weren't personally signed by hand. But there's just one problem. There's no legal basis for this claim. In reality, the president's authority to issue pardons is absolute under Article 2, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. Nowhere does it require that a pardon must be physically signed by the president himself. Trump seems to have based his claim on a conservative think tank's report, which pointed out that some of Biden's recent pardons all had identical signatures. But here's what they left out. The use of Autopen is nothing new. In fact, it has been used by U.S. presidents for decades, dating back to Harry Truman and John F. Kennedy. But what exactly is an Autopen, and why do presidents rely on it? The Autopen is a mechanical device that allows officials to sign documents with an exact replica of their signature. It's used for efficiency, especially when presidents must sign hundreds of documents, from routine appointments to military orders. In 2011, President Obama became the first president to officially sign a bill into law using Autopen while he was abroad. The Department of Justice had already clarified in 2005 that this is legally valid under the U.S. Constitution. This was reaffirmed when President George W. Bush also relied on the device for signing military commissions. Even Trump himself used Autopen for official government documents, including military appointments and routine bills. In fact, one of the last major uses of Autopen before Biden's administration was during the government shutdown negotiations in 2019, when Trump signed key funding bills without being physically present. So, can President Trump actually revoke Biden's pardons? Legal scholars say no. The Supreme Court has ruled multiple times that a presidential pardon, once granted, cannot be undone by a future administration. The last time anything remotely similar happened was in the 1860s, when a few pardons issued by President Andrew Johnson were withdrawn before they were officially accepted. But once a pardon is granted and accepted by the recipient, it becomes permanent. One of the landmark cases that cemented this principle was Ex parte Garland in 1866. The Supreme Court ruled that a pardon carries an immunity from the punishment prescribed for the offense and cannot be revoked. Even Richard Nixon's pardon, issued by Gerald Ford, was untouchable despite public controversy. If Trump were to challenge Biden's pardons, he would likely face immediate legal opposition, and any attempt to undo them could be seen as unconstitutional overreach. Legal experts predict that any such move would be swiftly struck down in court, leading to another round of legal battles for Trump. This controversy isn't just about Autopen, it's about power and politics. By questioning Biden's pardons, he's fueling distrust in the system and energizing his base. This is part of a broader pattern. From claiming widespread election fraud in 2020 to undermining mail-in ballots, Trump has continuously worked to cast doubt on the legitimacy of government institutions. The claim about Autopen fits perfectly into this playbook. But will this strategy work? Or will it backfire as legal experts continue to dismantle his claims? We've seen similar political tactics before, like Nixon's efforts to obstruct investigations, which ultimately led to his resignation, and Reagan's denials of involvement in the Iran-Contra affair, which hurt his administration's credibility.